everybody, welcome to the Pop Block here on Watch Rush Network. I'm your host, excited Eddie B. Of course, Bossman is not here. He is on vacation this time. But I got the ladies of Boss Rush. And if you guys heard that, even though it's not the 4th of July, someone's doing fireworks. So that wasn't a gunshot. I hope someone blew their arm off when the police and well, I don't hope that happens. But if I hear the police and ambulance go down, something has gone wrong. But everybody, I'm with two special guests. The ladies of Boss Rush, I should say, or some of the ladies from Boss Rush. Of course, you know, Miss Stephanie Klimov.
Hello, everybody. Hello, friends.
Hello, you're back. Yes. Of course, you know you'll probably be back in a couple of weeks if they have a Nintendo Direct. Courty, you have to come back on too for the Nintendo Direct.
Yes.
Which everybody, yes. We also have Courty Yikes. Hello.
Hi guys. Happy to be here.
How are you guys?
Good. Not too shabby.
I can't complain. I mean, there's always going to be your typical ups and downs in life, but all things considering, knock on wood, things are going. I'm lucky enough to have a Switch 2 and play games. So, how about you, Ed?
Yes. I'm doing good. I will be going in my second week of craziness. Until things get settled at work. Let's just say I will have enough for some games, but also enough for PAX West. I'm probably gonna be like, you know what? Let me buy my ticket now, and then I'll figure out the hotel stuff or the lodging stuff a little bit later. Because I was telling Corey last week, like for 3 whole days, I've barely been at home because I've been at work. I've been at two stores last week because a crazy incident happened, and so I had to do some extra shift at work. But the money is going to be good at the rate that I get paid. So
There
I
we
was just
go.
like,
Yeah.
you know what? Let me get these dates together, and then once I find out the hotel arrangement, lodging thing, I'll be good to go and everything.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Courtney, I'll wait your.
I've already pre-booked our hotels. The only thing I'm waiting on is them saying, "Here's your badge." I'm like, "Okay." I've got the flight and everything. I just don't have that part. So, I mean, if I don't get to that part, that's okay. I've never been to the what West Coast. So that's my favorite part about it. I'm like, "Okay, there's something different. Let's do this."
Seattle's
Oh,
gonna
you're
be
gonna
fun.
love it. Last year's my first time in Seattle, and it's a beautiful place. And it doesn't hurt that Lasby, who will be there, is
Mhm.
from Seattle, so he can kind of give you, if not a tour, but like point out places to be and stuff. I
Oh yeah.
really wish I was joining you guys this year, but I'm gonna save money to make sure I can go to both places next year. So,
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I will be at Seattle. I got the AOK. Now I just got to put it in. When I get to work tomorrow, I got to put my request in and be like, hey, I'm going to be gone for these 5 days. Probably don't expect me till back here to a Tuesday. I'm getting away from all y'all craziness. Y'all handle the situation on y'all own. If something go wrong, my phone is off. I'm playing games. I'm interviewing. I'm writing. I'm eating good food, and I'm having the time and everything. So,
That's awesome.
but everybody, we're going to get into this housekeeping. This is Nintendo Pow Block, the Nintendo podcast for Boss Rush Media and the Boss Rush Network. We record each and every episode live on Twitch, YouTube, and X/Twitter every Saturday night. So come hang out, be a part of the conversation in the live chat, and give us a follow while you're there. If you'd like to support Boss Rush, you can check out our Patreon. That's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network, where you can gain early and exclusive access to content like the Nintendo Pow Block One Up Patreon show and Expansion Pass. Become a Patreon producer and more. As always, if you can't support us financially or join us live, your listenership and viewership is enough for us. Subscribe to Boss Rush on YouTube and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, consider leaving us a 5-star rating and a review or a comment. It will help with discoverability and growth. New episodes posted every Monday morning on podcast apps, YouTube, and our website on bossrush.net, where you can also find our daily banters, reviews, listicles, and more. Um, and does anyone have any plugs? I know Stephanie, you have a article out. Would you like to talk about it?
Ooh, an article. I was actually going to talk about spotlights, but I could do that
Oh
too. Are
yeah,
you talking
yeah.
about
Go,
or
yeah, yeah.
whatever?
Talk about it too.
If you listen to me on the Boss Rush podcast for the longest time, every time Corey or LaRon would ask me what I'm cooking, and I'd be like, no, nothing yet, nothing yet. But now that I've been through PAX East, I have a wonderful lineup of Boss Rush spotlights coming up and already have published. We have one from Imaginary Lab. They're devs from Italy
Yes.
that have a game Whirlite, and that was at the PAX Rise showcase. It's a point and click adventure game with a kind of like a mad scientist and a partner that's like opposite personalities. So that episode aired, and just recently, I also love the studio Starlight Studio. They are actually out of the Middle East, and they have released Bahamut and the Wak Wak Tree. And I also fell in love with that game because it is steeped in their iteration of Arabian folklore, which is
Mm-hmm.
not as represented as other cultures, and it's an adventure game completely underwater, and I was super impressed by the water physics. It
Sorry if
was
I have
so
to
much
inter-
fun.
Sorry if I
Mm.
have to interrupt. The Middle East developer's been killing it in the indie space.
Yes.
Killing
Yeah.
it. So shout out to them.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. So we love you over there at Starlight. Can't wait to play Bahamut. So those two are the ones that are recently out. I have a couple more down the line, but I just won't mention who they are until I have the dates lined up. But I have a nice pipeline to go. As far as articles, I think the latest one I put up was top 25 recommended games from the Summer Game Fest week. I did lump in the Sony State of Play and Xbox Showcase and everything together because it's all in one. I'm not one to kind of tease out one or the other. So I was going to be a top 10 and that wasn't I had there was too many good games. So then I made a top 20 and I still had a couple extra that I felt was worth it. So then I made it a top 25 and I spent a whole
Yeah.
afternoon doing it. So please, if you don't know what you want to play for games for the next year through 2026, I curated games of any genre, any type in this top 25 list, a very brief description and the trailer to the game. So please check that out.
Yes. And Courtney, do you have anything to plug?
Um, let's see, a few things. I probably only have one, maybe two. The season two of Behind the Joystick is finally coming out. So
Yes.
not next week, but the week after. Our interview that we did at PAX East is going to come out. So I'm so excited.
Yes. Super
Yeah.
excited. Ah, well, everybody, my interview with uh for Sky Lofty Sky Games, their game Sky Ties is out from PAX East. Right now, I am working on Endless Nights and Akiwan Survival. I'm working on those interviews, and then I'll be working on Fresh Tracks, Pick Me, and the fighting game, Courty from 4A,
Oh,
a Royal,
royalty free for all.
Free for
yeah,
all, yeah.
yeah. I'll be working on those interviews this week, also. So I kind of got a little bit more pack stuff to work on and deliver to you guys. But I need to get all of those interviews done and out because when I go to PAX West, it's going to be more interviews to
Oh,
transfer,
yeah.
Mhm.
and
You're
I'm
going to have a whole
super excited.
backlog.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
I'm
you know what, Ed?
super.
I'm glad you're taking the time to do it because and I just say this generally speaking, never rush an interview or anything that you do. Never rush it. Put quality over time, if that makes sense. And second of all, this helps the conversation stay fresh because the one kind of downside is, people might get a big boost directly after PAX East, but naturally things, as we all do in anything in life, kind of forget it over time. So if we can keep the conversation going, you know, we can
Yeah.
keep the light on these wonderful indies.
Yes, I'm super excited. Well,
Oh,
everybody, it
Ed,
is time.
sorry,
Oh,
I
go ahead.
didn't mean to
Go ahead.
interrupt. One more thing. I just want to give a shout out to my girl here, Courtney, who did a fantastic job helping
Oh,
edit.
yeah.
videos and shorts. One was me with the new Razer product for docking my Steam Deck, but the other one, which was more fun, was the Switch 2 unboxing, which
Adorable.
mostly I decided to give credit to my son because the way he narrates things is just ridiculous. He's like trying to be a legitimate salesman, and then he makes stabs about my age. So
It was so good. It should be posted soon. I just yeah.
oh,
It's gonna be posted soon and all you guys gotta watch it. He's so adorable. I just wanna
I love it because he's genuinely like interested in what I'm interested in, and it's a powerful bonding moment that I never thought I'd have. So
Yeah.
seriously, like props to you, girl. Thank you so much for helping me with that.
Oh, you're welcome. I was more than happy to edit that. I cracked up the entire time. I was like, oh, you can't believe what your son just did. Look at this. And you're like, oh my God, the breathing. And it was great.
Oh, that is awesome. Well, everybody, how about we get into Snacktendo? And I'm going to start the Snacktendo because y'all, man, I've been so everybody know I've been on the drinks of the summer. You know, if you need the energy drink, I've been going to the Red Bull Wild Berry. That one's been good for the for pop or soda, if you guys want to call it. The Sprite and tea has been selling out like crazy. But if you're looking for a juice kind of drink, y'all, I know I mentioned this, but didn't get full attention. This Snapple Pink Lemonade is everything. Like, so if you see in the stores, like I said, if you remember those little juice jugs that are like cartons, barrels and stuff, and they have
Yeah,
the
yeah,
syrup,
yeah.
that pink lemonade just tastes just like that, and it goes down so smooth. So you don't want an energy drink, or you don't like soda, but you like juice. Man, the Snapple Pink Lemonade, that is kind of the drink of the summer, for
Nice.
or juice of the summer for right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I did Chipotle, sushi, and all of that mess. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, that I just wanted to get that out for drink of the summer. Well, another drink for the summer, I should say, for the juice. Courtney, what have you been snacking on?
Oh gosh. Fruit roll-ups, Capri Suns, Jello, everything that Lunchables. It's been a while since I've had like the pizza
Mm,
Lunchables, but my kids are like, "Mom, our friends are getting these stuff. We should get this stuff." I'm like, "What stuff?" And they're like, "These Lunchables, these box things." I don't give my kids that stuff. I'm like, "You're gonna be hungry after. We're not doing it." But I got them like I think 4 or 5 boxes of different ones, and we all tried them out, and it just it like hit like a childhood memory. I was like, whoa, like no, we need Lunchables in our life. Like the pizza one, delicious. And then a lot of chocolate milk, but like I love chocolate milk.
yes,
I've just been
chocolate
drinking that. Oh, and I made this breakfast pancake thing. I was super lazy. And you take like a cookie sheet and you put like the pancake batter in and you put it in the oven. We put like chocolate syrup, caramel, sprinkles, like a little cake. And all of us ate that. They wanted more, but I didn't want to make more because it takes 20 minutes.
Oh, yes. Uh,
Yeah. It needs to be short
Steph-
and sweet.
exactly.
Hmm.
Stephanie, what have you been snacking on?
So I got some bad news, y'all. I
Uh
think my
oh.
stomach ulcer is flaring up.
Oh no.
Um, because every time I eat something, it feels like I swallowed shards of glass. So I've
Ow.
been not eating much. However, today was an exception because it is Father's Day and my dad wanted me to bake him an Oreo cheesecake. So
Ooh.
I made Oreo cheesecake from scratch. Like I literally
Wow.
bought Oreo cookies, processed them. I made an Oreo crust, like a homemade Oreo crust, Oreo cheesecake, baked it, and then we had it with our lunch today. We had a little bit of everything. Like my dad's special request was lasagna, so my mom made lasagna, but she also made like her typical like Chinese food. We had these things
Mm,
called glass noodles, which is delicious with some ground meat. Um, and then for dessert, she made, like those big things. They're called, I don't know if they're really called truffles, but it's like almost like little bits of like parts of cake, but also like whipped cream, like in
yeah.
layers.
Mm.
Yes.
That, oh man, I could literally just go eat, just dunk my head in a whole bowl and just eat it all up at once. And then some of the cheesecake. So shockingly, I am not hurting that badly, but I can at least say Oreo cheesecake is the bomb because Oreos are awesome and cheesecake's awesome. Put them
Oh
together
yeah.
and it's double the fun.
Oh yeah.
Love a good cheesecake. I have not tried the Oreo cheesecake yet. I'm so nervous to try it because I know this is gonna be good, but I'm just like I'm like I'm gonna eat it. I know I'm gonna get a slice. I'm gonna eat it, and then like I gotta wait. I gotta let this process in my
That's the
stomach.
problem. You're gonna eat it and you're not gonna stop. Like that's how good that is.
Uh, yes. It's funny that you guys mentioned Lunchables and stuff. Hillshire Farm kind of got a little Lunchable plate, and I had one of those this week. Man, I was just like, ooh, Oscar Myers, y'all gotta run for
Oh
some
yeah.
money on me. Because the thing about it is that they got, well, their cracker is wheat, but their meat is thin and like really big in the cheese. So it's just like you can kind of wrap everything, the cheese up with the meat, and then bite it. But I was just like, this is gonna look like a burger. Yeah. So, yes.
So
Well,
that's
everybody,
kind of it for me.
it's time for Play with Power. Stephanie, where have you been playing with Power?
I haven't been playing too much. It's been kind of a busy week. I picked up some shifts at my second job to pay for my Nintendo Switches and pre-orders, but it's just been Cyberpunk 2077 because did I mention it when I was last on Pow Block that I was playing that game? But yeah, Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have, because I think you said you was in the process of starting it.
Yeah, so I'm still playing
Okay.
it. Still not disappointing. Nothing's lagging. It's going along very well, but it is a very dense game. I actually bought the piggyback guide to it.
Mm,
I used to love the piggyback books. The one for Tears of the Kingdom was okay because it's so much text, not even that many pictures. But Cyberpunk 2077 is a really cool guide, and I guess I wish I played it earlier because the first like chapter of the piggyback book is like backstory of things about Night City and the game before the game even started. That's when you
yeah.
know like the team poured in so much, as much it was a dumpster fire when it first came out. The team
Oh
poured
yeah.
out so much like story, lore, detail. And any game that does that, I have so much respect for and I love it. Whether or not I can keep playing it consistently, I'm a bit nervous because I feel like if I take a break from a game like Cyberpunk and I go back to it in like 2 months, I'm not gonna remember what the hell I'm doing. So I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta keep playing even if it's like a couple minutes a week or something." I don't know. Because I am also going to be starting Sorry We're Closed,
Nice.
on the Switch. Mhm.
Okay. That should be
So that
fun.
I
yeah,
know how
so
you
so
feel about the Cyberpunk with Zelda. I haven't played it in 6 months, and I'm like, should I restart? Because I have no idea where I'm at now.
For Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
going to be restarting on my Series X from
Ah.
the beginning because I got to do the update. I played it in this broken state on Xbox One.
Mhm.
Um, And so once everything got, fixed and everything and patched, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna start from the beginning, and I'm just, go with the game at the best way that I could go about this game.
Yeah, and
So
I don't know about you guys, like I can't plow through a game like that. And I think part of it's too is I'm not a first person gamer. Like I usually
Yeah.
play third person and whatever. Because when I'm in first person, I guess I don't have that spatial awareness, and I found that out pretty quick. Because when I got my first time to drive, I immediately plowed onto the street, and I thought like, oh, it's a video game, so no big deal. No, then you piss people off, and I saw a flash on my screen that I was like wanted, and people started shooting at me. I'm like, I'm sorry, it was an accident. So,
That's
um,
awesome.
I hope to make a dent on it because first of my big pre-order, Death Stranding 2 for PlayStation's coming at the end of the month, and that's gonna be a beast of a game too. So like, I don't know if I can
I
handle it.
feel I feel like that game is gonna get just tense everywhere. I think that
Yeah.
game I think Expedition 33 is gonna have to battle Death Stranding 2. Um, I love the cover of Death Stranding 2. I like the way that looked. Um, but I think it's just going that game's just gonna get so much praise that it's gonna be like if this game beats out Expedition 33 and it's well deserved, then I can understand um, why it's going to be a big competitive space or a competitive game for Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that means I would have to be like, okay, because I have. This is how bad it is. I have Death Stranding on my PS4 and Series X, and still have not started either game. So I'm gonna start it on Series X. I'm gonna play through it when I get my PS5 Pro, hopefully soon, sometime next month. Uh, because I'm gonna have it before Ghost of Yotai comes out. I'll be playing
Mm-hmm.
it. I want to be ready to play Death Stranding soon. Everything. I can't believe for PlayStation 5, I'm going straight digital. I'm not going physical for PS5. I'm going to straight digital this
I don't
year.
blame you. I honestly don't. If you think of it in a purely logical standpoint at this day and age, I just don't see why not. And if you're a collector, we all know that PlayStation and Xbox, the discs, don't have the resale value, or at least most of them don't, compared to the Nintendo collectibles. So I get you. I honestly don't know why I haven't gone digital. I don't know why I still order physical. Maybe it's just like a knee-jerk habit. But if someone were to
Mm.
ask me why, I don't have any really good explanation like I would for ordering a Switch game physical.
But, like yeah, physical for Switch and even the game key cards, I'm still buying. But for PlayStation, it's just like there's no retail space like at Target or Best Buy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, ooh, I'm like if y'all stuff is disappearing, I'd rather just get the SSD or whatever and just get digital games on there and everything.
Mm.
So,
Nice.
well, everybody, how about we get into oh, I forgot.
Wait,
Courtney, what the hell
yeah.
have you been
Oh,
playing?
What are
I
you
mean,
playing? I was
whatever.
like,
It's
hold on.
cool. It's no big deal. I mean, I know Cyber and I know what you're playing. So yeah, I play those days too. No, I've been playing Soulframe. I just started about like maybe a week or so ago, and I've been addicted. Like usually games in that kind of it's like a first person like a Souls like game pretty much.
Mhm.
Something like that my brain can't process. There's probably like 30,000 quests after a tutorial, and you're like, I just want to play the game. I don't want to mission. This one, there's no
Mm,
tutorial. They just kind of throw you in it. They're like, one quest, have fun. And then
mm,
that's where you get your like tutorial. But then, like, once you're done with that, they're like, here's your next mission. And it's like, the path is where all the 20,000 quests are. It's not like, oh, you got to do this quest, collect rupees or collect the coins, and here's this wizard. And it's just like a straight shot to the story. And I'm obsessed. I've usually my
mm.
brain's like, okay, let's go do this, let's go do this. And then it's like, where's the story? It's just straight shot. I love it so much. But then when it gets hard, I stop playing it because my brain hurts and I'll play Cat Quest.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I've been
Nice. The
playing that for
first
a little
one
bit
or the
too.
latest one?
The first one.
Mm.
I wanted to play the first one so I can understand the story because I've watched the trailer, but I've never played the game. So I was like, okay, let's start with number one and let's see how that goes. And I've
Oh,
only been like, it's like been a small like hobby game. I think I
Yeah.
just finished the tutorial on it.
Mm.
So it's been nice. It's very cozy. I like that one a lot.
nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Anything else or just that one for right now?
Mainly
Just that
those two. I really been wanting to try to play. I saw it at where did I see it? DreamHack Dallas. It's called Diesel, and it's kind of got this Portal meets Twilight Princess mix. So it's like in
Ooh,
ruins, but it's like different dimensions, and you have to travel through each dimension to get to like the main part of the story to save what you're needing to save. Um, it's really good. I only
Is
saw the
it?
trailer. They have I think their demo is still out. Um, but it's so majestic. I was like, this is like Portal meets Twilight Princess, and I'm obsessed. I love it so much. I just don't have the brain power to play it yet.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah,
Nice. Well, for me, everybody, I am at the last part of Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. Right now,
nice.
I'm just doing all the searching before I get to the end game content. I started up Torchlight 2 on Switch. I, downloaded since it's digital. I downloaded it to my Switch 2. I also downloaded Disco Elysium to my Switch 2.
Okay.
So I'm going to play that. Everybody keeps saying how great this game is. So I'm super excited to play it. Uh, I have the cartridge to this game, and I brought this at PAX East this year. Was Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. So I am playing that. This is Suda 51, Grasshopper manufacturer, where you play as a zombie hunter who is a high school cheerleader. So, and you kill zombies with a chainsaw, and you punch the zombies with pom poms, and it's just full on craziness and nonsense. And then you're just like ready to get a call from your mom for some unknown reason. Right now, I just met the dad in the game, so we'll be riding on a motorcycle to the next level. But I'm just like going back playing some of the older levels to collect some things and like get powered up and stuff. So pretty much that is what I am playing. Um, I am going to return back to Mario Kart World. This week I am getting some games. So I'm super excited for that. Um, so I think I don't know. Is it Room Factory? No, it's not Room Factory. The Guardians of Azor or Asia.
Oh.
Um, one of
Uh-huh.
that games for Marvelous. It's a action role playing game slash farm sim. And I played this at PAX East, and I was just like, since it's available for Switch Two, I'm gonna get that version, the Switch Two version, and play that. Oh,
It's
and I've been
Rune Factory Guardians Azuma.
Azuma, yeah, that's it, Azura. I keep getting that name wrong. Yeah, I'll be playing that one. It's super fun at PAX. Because I played the PlayStation 5 version, but I'm like, yeah, I want the Switch 2 version. I need to start this library on the system um, with that. And so, yeah, and I'll be getting some of the other games on Switch 2 that came out for during the launch and everything.
Mm.
So I'm super excited. And I'm going to
Nice.
get another Xbox controller for my Series
Of
X.
course. Nice.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's the summertime. I want to do some summer gaming. Um, yeah, and I kind of got to get back to my Xbox. I haven't been playing it for a while or anything. But yeah,
Are you looking for a particular color or design?
I got the light green one. I don't know which one is out now that I want. I think I'm gonna take a look on their website and then go to Target or Best Buy and see if they have that same color, and then go and get it and stuff.
Okay. You know what? I can't believe it. Like, and you mentioned it, like, why of all games to forget to mention, I actually finally did start Mario Kart World. I didn't want to play it alone, so I waited till my son was ready to play with me.
Hmm.
Um, and let me tell you something. I'm one of those parents, I'm sure you see those videos on like TikTok and Instagram, like parents not taking it easy on their kids in Mario Kart. You just like you're ruthless. You gotta you don't let them win. You just beat their ass and show them like how tough the world is. And that's the approach I took with my son. And I would whoop his ass. Sorry, whoop his butt. I'm sorry, Corey, you have to edit that out. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Whooped his butt. Um, and in Mario Kart World, he finally beat me.
Ah,
He
That's
wow.
finally
awesome.
beat me. It's a big day. I'm sorry
That
for
means
cussing. Sorry.
you have to grind out for like the next month just so you can beat him again and be like, well, that didn't matter.
Exactly. So sorry, I didn't mean to add to that, and I'm sorry for cussing. I won't do it again.
Oh, yeah. Wind Waker GameCube so good on Switch. Oh, I just started like, oh, this frame rate, yeah, these
Wait, so it's
improvements.
out? It's good?
Yeah,
Oh
it's
man.
part of the it was because it came out on release day. The
Okay.
GameCube NSO came out, and it was F-Zero, uh Wind Waker, and I think Fire Emblem. I think but Wind Waker, no, Soul Calibur 2. I'm sorry. Wind Waker, uh, was part of the first ones, and I just clicked it on and I looked. I'm like, oh, they put some work into this game, so I cannot wait to play it. I cannot wait to get to my favorite dungeon and fight the ghost boss.
Oh
I
yeah.
love that ghost boss. Getting getting
Mm.
him and bowling him into the spikes and then breaking up so I could hit the ghost, and then I cannot wait till I get to my favorite part of kind of like almost any video game, and that is the I would say just Frozen Castle, and I'm gonna leave it at that. If you haven't
Are,
played Wind Waker,
are you playing on the
I'm playing Pro
GameCube,
controller.
g-
I didn't,
the Pro controller? Okay.
I didn't even get the GameCube controller yet.
Mhm.
Um, Financial reasons,
Yeah, fair enough.
aka that was when I brought my Switch 2. I had half of my check went, or one third of my check went to my car. um, so it's just like, okay, I paid my car note. Uh, Maybe I'll have enough to get a Switch 2 just by emphasis, and I did. And so yeah. So, well, with that, everybody, it is time for Femi News, and our special guest Stephanie will be taking it away this time. Take it away, Stephanie.
Woo!
No pressure. No pressure. So in contrast to the last few weeks where it's been a heavy news cycle with the release of the Switch 2 and then Summer Game Fest, this past week has been relatively quiet, but we do have some like cool little news bits about Nintendo Switch. So the first one, I pulled together information from both Nintendo Life and Nintendo Wire, thanks to Liam Doolin and Peter Glagowski. Switch 2's best selling game so far, because again, now we're finally in full operation after a first full week. So first, let's take a look at the top games on the US eShop. I don't have the specific numbers for that, but it as follows, and you let me know what's surprising and what isn't. Number one, Mario Kart World. No surprise there. Number two, Cyberpunk 2077. Number three, Zelda Tears the Kingdom. And when I say this, I mean upgrade pack. Fantasy Life Girls Who Steals Time. Deltarune. Breath of the Wild. Welcome Tour. No Man's Sky. Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster. And then rounding that out is Street Fighter 6.
Hmm.
And then
Nice.
before we discuss, I do have numbers for Japan's top 10 games. So number one is Mario Kart World. Here I do have the numbers. That's 78,256 units, and that's 1 week. Number
Wow.
two is Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma. Then it's Fantasy Life I, Natsume's Book of Friends, Elden Ring Night Rain. Must is that? Oh, that's PS5. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't belong there. That doesn't make any sense at all. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, Yakuza Zero, and Mario Party Jamboree. So any surprise to these lists here?
I'm actually just surprised that Room Factory. This is coming from Japan. Room Factory on Switch is has beaten or actually tripled the Room Factory on PS4, PS5. I'm like, wait, huh?
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Deltarune isn't up like in front of Cyberpunk because like the whole Undertale's um like
It's a
their fan
cult
base and
following.
everything that they
Yeah.
have. Yeah, like it's that far down is wild.
Yeah. The Welcome Tour, as much as the idea and concept's cool, I mean, I'm not surprised it's not the top three, even though I feel
Yeah.
Mhm.
like logically it should be. I'm a little surprised, but pleased that Cyberpunk was the number two game, at least for the Western audience. But I guess it makes sense. I'm curious, like, I wonder if these are because these are primarily Nintendo gamers, so they finally get to have this game that they could never not have before, or if it's more people like me that are curious to see how it runs. But if it's the former, this is a good sign. This is what happens when we get third party support. We're going to see new life breathed into and more sales into games that have been out for a while, but we're just finally getting to Nintendo because Nintendo consoles sell games.
Yeah.
And, to add on to that, Courty, I mean Stephanie, sorry about that. Um, is that a lot of people finish their games on these on Nintendo platforms, like The Witcher 3, when that came out on Switch, people finished it, like completed the whole game, and so. I think with Switch 2 and the games that's coming to it, whether it be a port or a new IP or indie, I think more people are going to be finishing these games and purchasing the physicals, whether it's game key or it's all on the cartridge, when they're available. So that's gonna be good business for the video game industry and definitely good business for those companies and for Nintendo themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Agree. Yep.
I must say though, um, the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, is it? I wonder because I'm assuming people also bought them on Switch. They paid the $70-$80 for those on
Mm-hmm.
Switch too. Um, for people who didn't pick up the game or they just or this is their first Switch console in the Switch family. Um, that's surprising that it's that with the upgrade pack because for anyone who has NSO, it's for free. But if this upgrade pack is on this list, um, and I don't know which version of it is the Switch 2 or the $10. This is the $10, and it's on the NPD. Nintendo got some money.
Yeah.
You literally just think just 10 people, that's $100. Or even if they got both games and did it, that's $20, which leads up to 200. So if they got like just 1,000 people buying this, that's close to $20,000 for Nintendo. Pure
Yeah.
bank.
Yeah.
That's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
It is. Yeah. So it's just like kind of almost like I said a little bit earlier, like just like an extra bump in sales, like squeezing a bit more dollars from kind of what's already out per se. Granted, their upgrades. I am actually very keen and interested since I mentioned Elden Ring by accident. But the Tarnished Edition, when that eventually comes to Switch 2 later,
Mm.
I am curious to see how much money FromSoft's going to get from Nintendo.
Ooh, probably a lot. Because
Yeah.
I feel like if Front Software and because one of Nintendo's like um you know uh big second party supporter or third party support, um like they do with Platinum, Bandai Namco, and Koei Tecmo, um they could have the trifecta again.
Hmm.
Because they had Capcom and Konami at one time. And I'm like, and Capcom and Konami were big back in the '90s and early 2000s. So if if that happens, Nintendo literally could be having a hold on Japan with ease. Platinum Games, From Software, Koei Tecmo, Bandai Namco. Like, and then if they go back to Capcom and Konami, even Square Enix, like if they get like just at least seven of the Japanese developers there, making games for Nintendo Switch too, man, that's bank. And everybody's gonna be like, ooh, what
Hmm.
what are y'all cooking? Because
Absolutely.
because shoot, Nintendo could go to Konami and be like, we want you guys after the success or the sales of Metal Gear Delta, we want you guys to remake Twin Snakes for us because it is a Nintendo GameCube exclusive, and we probably still have the rights of publishing it. So guess what?
Mm.
We want you guys to redo this game, and we want you guys to put it on Switch 2. Nobody else can have this game. Yeah.
Mm. That would be nice. But yeah, so the next one is pretty related, so we can just keep talking Switch 2. Switch 2 sets the all-time launch record for video game hardware in the United States. Also coming from Nintendo Life, so thanks, Liam. Earlier this week, Nintendo officially announced that the Switch 2 had sold over 3.5 million units globally in the
Wow.
first 4 days, making it the highest global sales for any Nintendo hardware ever in this amount of time. And then further confirmation from Piscatella stated this is an all-time launch week unit sales record for video game hardware in the US, with over 1.1 million units sold for the week ending of June 7th. The previous record was held by Sony's PlayStation 4, and the sales calculated here for the Switch 2 exclude my Nintendo Store purchases. So, not sure what else there is to discuss because I feel like, and I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't speak for y'all, but I don't think I'm really surprised that the Switch 2 was that successful, despite all the people hating on it on the internet saying, oh, it's overpriced and no one's going to want to buy it.
And
Yeah.
and they're the ones that ended up buying it too. Some of the
Right?
grifters. So it's funny that we see this number. Um, I was watching Spawn Wave. He was doing a report on all the scalpers who were trying to get the system and sell it like at a higher price and everything. Um, Nobody's buying them because it was the system was so available, and I guess now it still is available. People are still getting shipments, and they could go in and get the store, go to stores and buy it. No one's going to their eBay buying a $600 version of that console.
And
It's
that's the crazy
crazy.
thing.
Yeah, and um, when people say that the system was available, um, people were able to walk in and get one. And like this week, they're probably be doing restocks and stuff. They said it was so many people have just been showing their Switch tubes and getting one still that they were just like, yeah, we're not going to eBay. So I think what's going to end up happening is that they're going to end up having to drop that price because no one's going to
Hmm.
be paying that much or anything. And if Nintendo is good at restocking the system, they're going to be it's going to end up being the PlayStation 5 thing where they're going to be stuck with all these PS5s that they um purchased in whatever illegal way that they purchased them in, any way that they got them, and they're going to be stuck in a warehouse or in their garage and they can't sell none of the systems.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was expecting like a PlayStation type of deal, like because I mean they just let people buy as many as they want now, but like what the first 6 months it was like you can only buy 1 to 2 PlayStations, like that's
Mm-hmm.
it, and it was still dragging out, and people were like, "Oh, we're sold out, we're sold out, we're sold out," but like this is still available to people, and the fact that you can still order it online and have it shipped to you is they did really good, especially if it's like their highest of sellings and it's still available to be continued to be purchased and no one has to fight over it. They did really great. They prepared. That is for
Yeah, they
sure.
were true to their word because they said they
Yeah.
were going to make enough to meet demand, and shockingly, I feel like they pulled it off. For people who really wanted it, if not day one, but like within the first week, I feel like they presented the opportunity. So you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Each
I
time I
think
went to a store, I asked them, I was like, "Hey, do you have one? Can I just see the box? I just want to see the box. Do you have one?" And they're like, "Yeah, we still have two back here." Or, "Oh, we've got one, but we have a shipment coming like Thursday." And I was like, oh, you have more?"
hmm
Mm-hmm.
So, given this news or like the confirmation of like the first week sales and stuff, because I believe a couple weeks ago, the projection, like a conservative projection of how many Switch 2 units would be sold in a year would be 15 million units, 20 if you're pushing it. Do you feel like that's definitely could be achievable? Because I feel like that
Oh,
it definitely is.
Yeah, I think with four versions of the system being out, two here in America and two in Japan, I think they could easily hit 15. Definitely with the games that we'll see that's coming to the system and stuff. Um, if they, I think they could hit 15. I actually really think they'll hit above. 15 by the end of the year. So um, if they keep the price the same throughout the rest of the year and stuff, and definitely there'll be a bigger library for indies, new IP and ports and stuff, third party and first party. I believe they could probably hit about 20 at the end of the year. And if like yes, Microsoft is doing good with them releasing games, but like if like October is a packed month just for Xbox and PlayStation, which is good for them. But I'm like, if Nintendo comes with the hits, if third party come with the hits and exclusives for Nintendo Switch, um, people could easily be going in and buying those systems. And like me and you was talking about this definitely a while back. Once they drop the special editions of the Switch 2, like a Link one or a Mario or even a Black Friday one, people who already own a Switch 2 are gonna go out and get those
Yeah.
and everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they're still going to be definitely going to have special editions of that. And like you said, like when they start releasing more of their heavy hitters, not that Mario Kart's not a heavy hitter, but I'm just saying we still in the future we got Donkey Kong,
Hmm.
Metroid Prime, I should say, and then the ones that we don't know, but we know will eventually come in the generation is a new 3D Zelda game, a new 3D Mario game. Like all of them are console sellers. So this is just the beginning.
Exactly. Especially just with Microsoft alone, like if they put some of their stuff on Switch 2, I'm like, that's gonna be selling more.
Hmm.
And that's gonna still continue to be good business for Microsoft. And Nintendo, like probably within 3 years, when we get that next legend, 3 or 4 years, we get that next Legend of Zelda, we'll get the Switch 2 OLED. It may be like 550, 600 some dollars, but the coins will be ready.
Yeah.
If not, the coins will be going to something on that's on their way.
Hmm. Yeah, so I know it's not really surprising news or a lot of news, but that's kind of all I have for you because anything else that I really read was not really Nintendo related.
Mm,
Like one quick thing that I just personally was excited about was that Konami, they held like their own thing that talked about Silent Hill F and Metal Gear Solid, but I believe they also confirmed that they're letting the Bloober team remake the original Silent Hill. And I was very excited
Wow.
about that because they did a fantastic job with Silent Hill 2.
mm,
And I love the Bloober team because they put out quality work. I'm not a huge horror fan, but I respect developers that can transform or that first of all can make quality games, but also take a revered IP or franchise and remake it, you know, remake it well. So
yeah.
that's just my side bit. Back to you, Ed.
Well, everybody, we're going to get into Pack Watch. And Stephanie, you don't mind, Corey, you got you see the notes and
Oh, I
everything.
don't mind. Like, Courty, do you want to do it or do you want me to do it? Doesn't matter. I kind of have it on the thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it, that'd be cool.
All right,
Okay.
no worries.
What you
So I didn't
doing?
mean to bat it to you anyway. So hi, this is Pack Watch, and
Woo!
here are the games that are coming up this upcoming week. Then we'll talk about if we're interested in any of them. So the first is Gex Trilogy coming out June 16th. Things are about to get weirder than the 4th of July at Rick James' place, if anyone can understand the reference these days. Everyone's favorite tail whipping channel surfing gecko is back in a collection that features all of his best selling adventures. The Gex Trilogy includes the original Gex, which is a 2D platformer, and then Gex Enter the Gecko, which was the 3D one on N64, and Gex 3 Deep Cover Gecko. This is put out by Limited Run. Date Everything. Another interesting title, June 17th. Date Everything is a sandbox dating simulator set in the comfort of your own home, featuring 100 fully voiced dateable characters. Let the romance flow between your bed, smoke alarm, and overwhelming sense of existential dread? Question mark. Are you ready to date everything? Same day. These next few are all the same day, June 17th. Lost in Random, The Eternal Die. That is a take on an ancient evil in Lost in Random, a fast-paced, action roguelike set in the whimsical world of Random. You play as Queen Alexandra and her die companion Fortune as you battle twisted foes, wield powerful relics and abilities, and roll the dice to escape this nightmarish realm. Next is Tron Catalyst. This is a Tron game. The arc grid stands on the brink of collapse. With your identity disk and light cycle, fight to escape by wielding the power of the glitch loop. Electrifying action and a rich story combine in a new adventure set within Disney's iconic Tron universe. Looks like the developer is the maker of Thomas Was Alone, for any of those that are familiar with that title, and looks like Devolver Digital is involved. Maybe as a co-publisher for that. This next game will be released June 18th called Battle Train. Outthink, outbuild, outblast. Battle Train combines deck building and tactical rail combat. Upgrade your train, lay tracks, and destroy your rivals with devastating locomotives. The rails are your battlefield. Will you be the last train standing? And we all know that Courty is going to buy this day one because he loves himself a roguelike deck builder. That's immediately going to Courty right there.
Oh yeah.
Um, this one I think will probably catch some of our attentions. I would like to hear your thoughts about this one, Ed, after is Raidu Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army. That comes out June 19th. That's part of the, is it Shin Megami Tensei world universe,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So, yep, the story is of an apprentice detective and devil summoner extraordinaire, Raidu Kuzona. I am so sorry if I mispronounced
Kuzunoha.
it. Thank you. The 14th returns in this remastered Atlas classic. Call upon your demons to solve supernatural mysteries and dispose of enemies. Same day rematch. Control one player on your team and compete in fast paced 5v5 matches from an immersive third person perspective. Team up with your friends and enjoy this action. I believe it's like a soccer game. This is made by Slow Clap, the same developers behind Sifu, the martial arts
Ooh,
game.
okay.
Yep. And last but not least, also June 19th, Through the Nightmares. This is a challenge driven platformer. For anyone who's ever had a restless night, run, jump, and change your size to overcome the nightmare's traps. Face Morpheus. Rescue children from an endless dream. Anyone considering getting any of these?
Raidu Remastered, The Mission of Soulless Army is going to be for me. Um, so this is a game that came out during the PS2, uh, but this is when Atlas literally had limited releases of games. So pretty much, if you wanted this game, you probably had to get it at GameStop, and you may have to pre-order because it was something that wasn't sold at Target or Best Buy or it like being very like games not for Atlas is more available around the world. So I never got to play this one. There's a
Mm.
lot of the Shin Megami Tensei games. There was some in there, and some of the early Persona games that I just never got a chance to play. So this one, I'm super excited to pick it up and play it on my Switch too. For it, I was excited seeing this game get announced, and I was just like, okay, this has Atlas. I'm like, this has got to be from the Shin Megami Tensei games, but I'm like, I didn't know if that game had came here and stuff, but it did come here under a different name. So I'm super excited to pick this one, give it a try.
Nice. I'm excited about the Gex trilogy and Date Everything. Gex because I never got to play it as a kid, and
Mm-hmm.
my dad, he played that as a kid. He loved it so much. He's got the Gex tattooed on him. And so like he's always talked about it, and I feel like it's kind of like a nostalgic thing to even try what I guess like I don't know, inspired him. And then also Date Everything. I saw the trailer for this and I was like, wait, I can do what now? Okay, okay, we'll try it. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what we can do. definitely Dread is gonna be my name, my number one, my boo boo.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I agree with Gex Trilogy. I actually pre-ordered the Tail Time edition. I
Nice.
think what ultimately won me over for paying up for that is because the box art for the Tail Time edition was drawn by Yoshitaka Amano. And for those that don't know who that is, Yoshitaki helped produce conceptual art design for Final Fantasy. So
Wow.
I I do find it kind of an interesting cross with Final Fantasy and Gex, but I love his artwork. I so I just have to collect it. And there's an inflatable Gex doll. But yeah, Courtney, I it's funny, like I was aware of Gex when I was growing up, and he was in the era of gaming that I was growing up in, but I actually never have an opportunity to really play it. So I
Yeah.
just want to relive my robbed childhood experience. Date everything sounds fun, and then I am debating playing Raidu Remastered because I'm again at that stage where I want to play things that I either missed out on or haven't had a chance to experience. I've never played a Shin Megami Tensei game, so I don't know if like it's okay for me to play just this one on its own. I would like to think so since it's kind of like a side game, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's kind of like a little bit RPG, but more for detective story. So you could play it as you don't have to go in and learn everything. Knowing Atlas, they'll teach you about the world and stuff. So you won't be missing out on anything.
All right. Excellent. So that's what we got for Pack Watch.
All right. Well, before we go, everybody, I kind of want to ask you, Courtney and Stephanie, this question. And I'm writing about, I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing an interview for Endless Nights, and it's a game that talks about, trauma. A character named Jake is in this dream world, and he's trying to deal with this trauma and everything, and it kind of deals with music also. Um, and me and I told the person, Tom, um, who's creative director, um, when we got to talking about it, I mentioned that mental health in video games has become like one of the things we talk about here on Boss Rush, and of course, with a lot of stuff that's going on now in the real world and everything, I kind of want to ask you guys: do you think that we'll see more mental health in games, addressing more stuff, and will that become like a genre of its own? Mental health games. We got like dad games and stuff like that, and cozy games. But do you think we're gonna get to a point where mental health games are a genre itself?
I have an answer. I don't know if you want to go Courtney first or not. It's up to you.
No, go. You go first.
Okay. And obviously I don't have a crystal. I'm not an expert in the field, but just judging from what I've been seeing, I think it's already well represented in the indie game space, and I feel like that's where we're going to see the majority of a focus on mental health for a while. I think it's going to be a long time before AAA studios take that very seriously. I'm not saying none of them do, but I mean the closest I think that we can really get to is goodness. I don't even know because isn't Senua technically an indie even though I
Um, when it started, it
started.
was when it came on the PlayStation 4, it was because Microsoft didn't own Ninja Theory at that time, and then that following year, when that E3 happened, that's when Microsoft announced that they purchased Ninja Theory.
Right. Yeah, because you guys might know, especially you, Ed, might know more games in your head than I, but I'm having a hard time coming up with a AAA game that has a primary focus on mental health, and I think it's because even if the developers cared,
Mhm.
AAA, the whole thing is the bottom line, the dollar, and many larger companies will prioritize profit first. And how do you kind of mitigate risk and increase chances of profit? And that's to go with what's easy and popular and what sells. So I'm glad we have developers like that of was it Endless Night, right?
Yeah.
Because I played that too, and they will be a contributing factor of seeing more and more games. But I think it'll stay in the indie space for a while before AAA actually does it and also does it well. Because you also got to be careful how you handle the portrayal of mental health without being patronizing or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Endless Night, the Darkness Within. That's the name of the
Mhm.
game.
Thank you.
Um.
To piggyback off that, there was a interview podcast for with Seth Rogen, I believe, because he
Mhm.
directed movies and stuff, and they were asking, like why do people keep doing the same things, at least in Hollywood, and I feel like it's the same way with AAA. It's a safety net because they know what works, and so remastering it or adding a part two to it is what makes it work in that space because it's too risky, and since they're already way up here they don't need to take the risk. Web comics, like webtoons, they're all indie comic people.
Mhm.
They've started addressing like trigger warnings and stuff, to where now like the major ones are now like pulling that to their side in like web comics, or even in like just like American based comics. I'm not too sure about like mangas or anything. But then even like Netflix, what was it, the 13 reasons? They were
Mhm.
13 reasons why, or I don't know. It was about suicide. I believe Selena Gomez directed it or something. And like they were the first ones that were like trying to pull like these trigger warnings and stuff. And I feel like indies now getting it. They're like, we're going to bring mental health. We're going to bring these awarenesses, because once I feel something takes off, that's when AAA will go, hey, we're going to do
Yeah.
this. And I think they're waiting for indie to really fully take the risk of it. Now, for it to be its own genre, I also feel that too, because it's either going to be horror or cozy. I know I'm going to butcher the name, Layla, the indie game. It's about a
Oh,
girl who like is like triggering through her brain and like reliving different moments in her life. It's
Yeah.
a point and click, I believe. Um, I feel it's cozy, but then there's some parts where it's like, this isn't cozy. This is scary. This is just too much. And I feel it should be in its own like little, it should be in its own little corner, and like,
I love
be
that
one of
game.
the, oh yeah. Oh, I'm obsessed with it. It was so good, but it's very like, there's not
It
a,
can get dark.
oh yeah, but it's
Like,
comforting too. There's nothing like
yeah.
I have to run and I have to do this, but then there's things on there and you're like, oh, this isn't cozy.
Yeah, I did like a quick like internet search, like, oh, top games that deal with mental health, and I keep seeing indie, 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 indie. There was one that actually showed up a few times that wasn't indie, that was Silent Hill too. Probably because of like because of
Yeah.
what's going on in,
Psychosis.
yeah, psychosis and the trauma. So I guess there's that. But like again, it's like a rare thing,
Yeah,
and
but
some,
even in there, I think it's like real faint. It's like maybe this is what it is, but we're not deep diving into it.
Mhm.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the most that for AAA, if they get into the mental health space, a lot of it's going to deal with self esteem. You know, if
Hmm.
anyone who played Final Fantasy IX Vivi, he had a self esteem problem because he felt just out, like left behind. He felt like he didn't want to be wanted. And when he saw those of his creation, he thought that they were accepted, and that didn't even happen. But like the team that he's with, like all of them treated him as friends and treated him with respect. And it had to get to a point where, you know, he had to face some difficult stuff. And um, the self esteem part was going to be one of the things he had to handle. When we think about uh, grief and stuff, me and you, Stephanie, along with David and Celeste, we did talk to walk about grief and how that game dealt with grief, even though at that time I didn't think it dealt with grief. I just thought that this person lost his statue, lost his power, and is on a journey to recover it. And then when I found out it dealt with grief, I'm like, oh, this is a whole different thing. It's a whole different game. And so I'm like, wow, and just even that talk. So I think if when we think about mental health games, I was telling the developer um, for goodness of my interview, I was talking about Papa and Yo, um, and when I got to talk to the developer who's making Light Haze World with that interview, and that game was about a person dealing with anxiety and social anxiety and how they feel, even though they gotta go and get some dog food for their dog. He has to go out on the outside world and solve these puzzles because that's the way that he processes things. That's the way he get through things, and it's kind of amazing to see that yes, for indie games they're able to touch on mental health with ease, and I agree with you guys with AAA. They don't think about that mental health is like probably for the role-playing genre because it is a thing for a character that helps progress the story, or give that character more development for people to understand more depth and stuff. Um, and it's just I asked this question because I kind of think that as we talk to like mental health and guardians of health and stuff, that these games, I think more people need to, play and recognize. It's good that we talk about AAA and first party stuff, but I'm like the mental health genre and stuff. It's like I think it's something that we need to play to understand why a lot of this stuff is happening, and we are at an age in an era where we could talk about these games, and why like the wholesome direct and wholesome games put out these cozy games to make you feel a bit better, to make you not feel like you're not wanted in this gaming space or anything, but you know maybe you just like these cozy games to relax you, to take your mind when you're frustrated. If you having crazy thoughts about something, or people don't believe in you, you can play a fire game and show your skill. Whether you're a streamer or not, show your skill on how organized and how well you could develop a farm and other business stuff. That you got talent, and once other gamers see that and everything, they're going to support you and make you feel better and everything. So I kind of think that like mental health, if it does become a genre, whether it is first party or triple A, or it's just continue to be indies, I believe it's something that we need to support and everything,
Mhm.
because there are a lot of developers who could put out these mental health games and do a wonderful job with it. Gree is one of my favorite ones. Rhyme is one of my favorite ones. Also, I've been thinking about Rhyme, and just how that game just deal with death with that game, and like even though it has some puzzles and even though it plays the way that it plays, um, I left the game speechless, and I was just like, when I got to the end, I just had to put the controller down. Just like, I wonder if you know you pass on. I wonder if something like this ever happened, and if it did, I mean, it'd be kind of cool and stuff. But to deal with death in that kind of manner, it's just something that I'm happy that I get to play um experience and share with people and talk about it and write about that
Mhm.
and stuff. So, like, I hope we do still continue to see mental health games. I hope that becomes a genre that people can get into, and yes, sometimes the endings might not be the way that you want it. It may not be satisfactory. It may not be come out as a happy ending, but at least it helps you recognize um, why mental health is important, and maybe it'll help you go out and seek help. Maybe it'll help you be able to be open about if you're dealing with the same thing. It's okay to talk to someone um, who wants to help you and to get better. Right? It's okay to go and have therapy with that. Like there's things in these games that it's okay to explore and help you recognize some things about yourself. And if it's a good recognition, maybe you can go out and get some help. Maybe you can be like, see a community who relates to you, who go through the same things that this game showcase throughout the experience. You know, it
Mhm.
to me, it's not about getting a high score or getting an achievement and being hardcore. It's literally about really taking the human experience or um, the human side of things and really showcase why there are just people who go through things and be able to explain it in this manner.
Mhm. Actually, it made me think about the most recent game that I finished that had a mental health aspect, and that was Chicory. And
Yeah.
it had a very light, colorful outside layer, but had many deeper layers. One that I connected deeply with because a lot of it had to do with like imposter syndrome and just never feeling like you're good enough and doubting yourself. And why I think mental health representation in gaming is important, and not just because of diversity and woke and whatever other people complain about these days, is we need to start, at least the chunk of the population that still doesn't believe this, treat mental health the same like we do with physical health. We don't have to treat it extra
Hmm.
special. It just needs to be the same. If you get, I don't know, you get a bad cut on your arm and you go to the hospital and get it sutured. Same thing. If you're going through a traumatic experience, if you're just something tough, whether it's forever or short term, it's still worth addressing. And like you said, Ed, I think the draw to games that have a mental health aspect to it makes it actually relatable. I think that's a big part of it. All of us, no matter we admit it or not, we find something to relate to it because we all share the same range of human emotion. Maybe more
Hmm.
so than others, depending on our preferences and how we've been raised, but it's the human experience.
Courtney, anything?
No, I mean, yeah, right behind you guys on it.
Okay.
Think we've addressed everything, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah. So, well, I guess we're gonna get to wrapping up the show because we don't have any questions or anything. I kind of want to thank you, and not kind of. I actually want to thank you, Courtney. I want to thank you, Stephanie, for joining me for this Pop Like episode. Everybody, let us know on our Discord at Boss Rush. Are if you're into mental health games, or if this is a genre that you're getting into us, or maybe there's games we don't know about that you want to recommend, let us know in the chat on our Discord in Boss Rush, or let us know in the comments here on Pow Block, because I really would love to know what games that you guys are playing, and if you're you were dealing with something, you don't have to be too personal with it, but was there a game that helped you get through some things, whether it is a mental health game or not? I would definitely love to hear about it and read about. So, with that, everybody, let's get into these outros. I want to thank you guys for listening and or watching Nintendo Pow Block, which is part of the Boss Rush Network. If you enjoyed our discussion, please do subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast application. You can support us over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. Any tier grants you early access to all our podcasts. Follow us all on social media platforms at Boss Rush Network. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you next time on Nintendo Pow Block. Bye, everybody. Woohoo!
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel,
Retrostoy,
and Christian S. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.